A follow-up story is a story written after the initial news story about an event. So, for example, if there's a plane crash, you'll write a story about the crash itself, that a plane crashed and so many people were killed, or there were five survivors. Where the plane crashed, what kind of plane it was, all that information that's available to you right away. What you might not know at the time of the crash, though, is why the plane crashed and who was on the plane and other information like that. And so that information is often included the next day or several days later in what's called a follow-up story, a story written after the initial story that provides more information that was not available when the first story was written. A good follow-up story is can be understood even if the reader has not read the previous story. So it includes enough of what we call context or background information that probably was included in more detail in the initial story, so that a reader who, again, hasn't read that initial story can still understand the story without having to go back and read that initial story. And then a good follow-up story obviously takes the story further. It provides more information. It tells the reader, in the case of a science and technology story, for example, what impact the discovery has had, or what impact a new piece of technology is having, or what we know now that we didn't know then. And that is the key thing, I think, with a good follow-up story, is that it answers that question: what do we know now that we did not know when this story initially broke?